few of you have commented that you watch these videos in the morning while drinking coffee. You have no idea how honored I feel to be part of your morning coffee ritual. I have coffee every morning. It's very important to me, so I'm so happy to share this with you. This morning, I'm getting ready to go to Descanso Gardens in La Cañada. Apparently, it's lilac season, and I don't want to miss that. The last time I was at Descanso Gardens was right before Christmas while they were still doing their nighttime light show in the gardens. And I had no idea it was going to be that magical. It was incredible. It felt like going to the best concert. So it'll be nice to go back to Descanso today just to see what springtime looks like and smells like over there. I've already showered this morning and I opened up the new soap that I bought in London at Florist, the Stephanotis soap. I get so much pleasure from opening up a new soap, especially fancy ones like Florist or Santa Maria Novella. The packaging is so exquisite, and I love the ornate designs molded into the bar itself. Opening up a new soap and using it for the first time kind of feels like starting a new cycle. This is what I'm going to wear to the gardens. I got this shirt so long ago. I remember specifically 1999 is when I bought it. I bought it at Paul Smith in Covent Garden in London, and it was a bit of a splurge, but I really wanted to celebrate my first solo exhibition, which was held in Cologne, Germany. It's funny to think back on that exhibition and 1999. The euro hadn't been introduced yet, so I had Deutschmarks in my pocket. And I wore this shirt. I was a little cold because it was springtime, and this is a very thin shirt. It's kind of ethereal and gauzy. At the exhibition, I didn't wear a t-shirt underneath it, so you could see some of my body. Not a lot, but some. I would never do that now because it's 26 years later and I'm a little bit more modest about showing my body, so I always wear a t-shirt underneath it. But I just love this color. I don't know if you can tell through the video, but it's blue. It's a very soft, light blue color. At the exhibition, I wore grass from Demeter as my scent. Do you remember these Demeter fragrances? They came in little bottles and there were these really fun photorealistic depictions of things that we don't normally associate with perfume, like birthday cake. There was one called Snow, gin and tonic, and of course I loved grass. It smelled so much like a freshly mown lawn. And it brought me right back to childhood during summer vacation when you just wake up in the mornings to that smell of cut grass. I remember that the guy who worked at the gallery was wearing Philosopos from Diptyque. It was the first time I ever smelled that fragrance, and it left quite an impression on me. I chose this shirt specifically because I think it looks really good with this waistcoat. I got this a few years ago. It was actually during the lockdown when I was shopping online, and I saw this waistcoat for sale on Grailed, and I think the seller was maybe in Lithuania. I'm a big fan of Anne de Mulamster. I love her designs, even though she was no longer designing by the time this waistcoat was made. But it's great. It's still very much in the Anne de Mulamster style and spirit. They look good together. I'm trying to go for this parsons look. Like I want to visit the parsonage of Lilac. And I think that this outfit is bringing me there. And to top it off, I'm wearing this hat. I got this a few years ago when I was in Paris and I stopped into Yohji Yamamoto. I saw the hat, put it on, and the sales associate there said, "You look just like Yohji Yamamoto." And I love that she said that because this is the iconic hat that Yohji would wear. And I thought it was so cool. I don't like most hats on me. I don't think my face suits hats, but this one I like very much and I wear often. So the outfit is complete and all I need to do is scent myself. So because I'm wearing the Yohji hat, I'm going to wear Yohji Homme. This is the 2013 remake of the original Yohji Homme, which came out in 1999. My friend Daniel was so excited about the remake, so he bought multiple bottles. And he realized that he didn't need all of them, so he graciously gave me this one, which I love. Thank you, Daniel. What a great scent. The main thing I smell here is licorice. I love licorice and anise notes in fragrances. But in the dry down, I think the geranium comes through a lot more. And I don't know if there is lavender. I feel there probably is. But the lavender geranium with bergamot is giving a fougere style smell. So kind of an old school traditional soapy masculine scent, but with that incredible licorice and cardamom. Just a really fantastic blend of spices and woods and herbs. Beautiful. So while I'm talking about all these different notes, I'm reminded of some articles that friends have sent me very recently. My friends Betsy and Susanna both sent me articles about a study that was conducted at University of California, Irvine. And in this study, they were finding this very interesting link between scent and memory, and the possibility of actually improving your cognition and your memory through scent training. So what they would do is they gave participants of the study a diffuser to use at night, and it would diffuse different scents through the night. So they were exposed to the scent information while they were sleeping. And these people who participated had increased memory and mental cognition. Isn't that interesting? I read one article saying that in the pre-modern world, humans were exposed to much more scent. There was constant scent stimulation. Not all of it good, some of it bad odors, but it was information that our brain was handling. And remember, the same part of the brain that processes scent information is the same part of the brain that handles memory. So this link is very fascinating to me. And you don't have to ask me to smell lots of things all the time and think about them. That's what I do. So I'm glad to think that there's an extra benefit to that, besides just my enjoyment. But these studies are very interesting and I would definitely like to learn more. So I think it's time to head up to Descanso. Before going into the gardens, we got some lunch, and right next door to the restaurant was this very cool bookstore called Lost Books. The walls of the store were covered with live plants, and there was an aviary with finches singing and flying about. The book selection was really incredible. I was looking at this book about Greek philosophies, because as you know, I'm a Hellenist. They had Leaves of Grass from Walt Whitman. So many good art books. And Brennan picked up this beautiful biography of Oscar Wilde. I looked at the records that were for sale, and of course my eye went straight to this Liberace record, which I didn't buy. But I did buy some other records, and I will tell you all about those after the trip to Descanso. So right now is the end of cherry blossom season in the Japanese garden at Descanso. Still very pretty to see, but the main reason why we went was for the lilac garden. Lilac has such a special place in my heart. Back in Pennsylvania where I grew up, lilac comes into bloom in May, around time for my birthday. So I always think of that smell and of those beautiful purple flowers as being my birthday flower. Of course, here in California, things bloom earlier, so lilac season is right now. Although This collection at Descanso is very unusual. I don't see lilac really out and about when I'm walking around in California. It's too hot and dry for that plant. But even after I left Pennsylvania, wherever I lived, whether it was New England or New York or London, there was wonderful lilac, and I'd always take big branches of it and bring it inside. To me, it smells like springtime air, and to be able to bring that into the home is a wonderful feeling. I always think of the smell of lilac as being a cold smell. Maybe it's because I'm used to it back in Pennsylvania when I was growing up, and it would come up in spring when you would still get some coolness in the air. So it was interesting to smell at Descanso in full sun like this. I was actually kind of hoping for overcast skies. I think maybe the heat amplified the scent because it was heady. Getting lilac into perfume, I feel, is always difficult because when it's not done right, to me it smells like bathroom spray, like a little Glade lilac moment. But sometimes perfumes really do it right. I can think of at least two. One would be Totally White from Parle-moi de Parfum. Beautiful, cool lilac with a slightly powdery finish. And Tears from Régime de Fleurs. Also a very accurate lilac, really beautiful. But as much as I love these perfumes, there's nothing that can really quite match the beauty of the scent of real lilac. We're in the oak grove right now at Descanso Gardens. I love the shape of oak trees, just how they bend, which is kind of funny because when you think of oak wood, I always think of planks as being so long and straight. They're beautiful. When the sun hits the mulch on the ground, you get that smell of warm wood. I think all of the wood oils are just released into the air. It smells so beautiful, like freshly sawn wood. Brendan just pointed out this, what is it? Hummingbird sage? Hummingbird sage. The flowers are just beginning to open now. And when you rub the leaves, it's so fragrant. And also kind of sticky. This is buckwheat. This is bearded iris. I wish you could smell this. Usually when iris is in perfumes, it's the iris root, which smells very vegetal. But this iris actually has so much scent in the bloom, and it's very difficult to describe. I feel there's a little touch of skunk and lemons and violets. Let's go and check out the roses. At home, the roses are going berserk. I'll show you. But I'm talking about roses so much in the last few weeks. Please forgive me if it's a little bit boring about all this rose talk. But while we're at Descanso, I just have to see where they are with the roses. And we got to smell a few. The rose garden at Descanso was not peaking. In fact, my roses at home are a lot more abundant right now. So that's great. A little bit further into the summer, I'll go back to Descanso and check out the roses. So let me show you some of the records I picked up at Lost Books. It's kind of interesting because I feel that lately I've been manifesting records. It all started off in Bath, England, when I found this Cocteau Twins record that I've been wanting and just happened to be there at an antiques fair. And then when I got back from the trip, Brennan and I went to the Long Beach flea market and stopped by a really great record store in Long Beach called Third Eye. And I thought to myself, what I really want to find is Duran Duran's album Rio, because I don't have that on vinyl. And it's so iconic. Look what I found. Can you believe that? And then recently, ever since that trip to England and having that beautiful experience in Cambridge, where we went to the Evensong service at King's College, I've been wanting to hear choir music just like that, to try and get that feeling into my house. Can I show you what I found? Choir of King's College, Cambridge, right here, singing very ancient music like Palestrina. This couldn't be more perfect. And it was 99 cents. Brennan noticed this interesting pattern, how I'm manifesting these things. And he said, you should buy some lottery tickets. Maybe you can manifest a jackpot. And I've been trying. I've bought a few tickets, but so far it has not happened. I got some other great records at Lost Books, like this Jacques Brel, Ne me quitte pas, and Chick Corea, Return to Forever, and some Prokofiev piano sonatas. I like to have this in the background while I'm just doing my thing at home. So very happy with my record haul, and the scent of lilac still very much in my memory. I'm going to set out a few stems on the table before dinner.